this year's began, one question has been on my mind. Should I put Atomfall and Fallout 4 in the same versus mode video? Do they compare good against each other? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's actually do it. This is Atomfall versus Fallout 4 versus mode. Let's go. Let's start off with this pleasant little village of Windhelm. Yes, this is the place you play in the game Atomfall, and it's a lovely little city. I do very much like it, and there are little things like civilians walking around just to make the game feel a little bit more alive. So whether you're making yourself a cup of tea, you're visiting the boathouse, you're visiting the local village shop, or you're just walking around, this place just has the element to feel a little bit more alive, and I love it for doing it like that. We'll now move over to Diamond City, the place of Fallout, where you get to explore this little area, and I absolutely love it. I think one of the things that this game does really well is it just adds in stuff, just to make it feel alive. Like, for example, there doesn't have to be a place for a school. There doesn't have to be a door that allows you to go in that you can see a school at. In fact, you'll probably never ever go into this in the main campaign because there's no reason to do so. However, it's there, it's available, and you can just walk into the schoolhouse. That is absolutely a thing you can do. There's no need for it, but it just makes it feel more alive. Yeah. It gives you an option. In fact, that's just something that this game does really well. It just adds in people, adds in places. Just one singular element, but when they're all put together, it makes it feel good. It makes it feel alive. It makes it feel a little bit more real. And it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be filled with stuff to do. And that's what makes this place really beautiful and nice. And just, they've got the design of this spot on. I love this. This is a great city. Move on to the next thing. And the next thing is talking to people. And how you talk to people in Atomfall and how you talk to people in Fallout 4 is very different. So, for example, inside Atomfall, you've got the green text, which you can change the color of, which is how the sentence will sound. And then you've got the white text on the other side of it, which is what the character is actually going to say. So, for example, you've got 3 different sentences here, and you can sound surprised, or you can sound lawful, or you can sound sympathetic. And it really does give that element of going, how does something sound, and what the character is actually going to say. This is some of the best speech options I've seen in a video game, so awesome to Atomfall and other game companies. Take note, this is absolutely brilliant how they're using this to display it. I love conversating with people in Atomfall. In Fallout 4, the speech is a little bit different. Actually, it's quite a lot different. There's 4 different options most of the time. Sometimes there's less, but maximum there'll be 4. And you only see how the sentence is going to sound and a tiny description of what your character's going to say. However, this becomes a little bit weird when you've got things like sarcastic on the side. What does that even mean? What type of sentence is that going to be? Is it going to be agreement sarcastic? Is it going to be disagreement sarcastic? It could be anything. The word sarcastic doesn't really help me. And sometimes I have to click on them just to find out what they say and what they sound like because I don't really understand what sarcastic means. So yeah, not the best way of doing things, but you know, that's just my own opinion. Moving swiftly on to customization now, and in Atomfall you can't really do anything to your character to customize him. There's no customization options in this game. You can't change your hairstyle, you can't go in third person mode, and you can't change your outfit. Yes, you can look down and you can see your shoes and boots and all that kind of stuff, but you can't really change anything from outfit choices to armor choices. That's not in the game. This doesn't exist. In the game Fallout, there are lots of different styles of haircuts and beards that you can add to your character when it comes to customization. I like to go a little bit more realistic and just find the future doesn't have hair gel or anything, but it does have clippers to cut your hair, so I always go for like a bit of a rough look, but a short rough look for my character. I think that also does the same with all the outfits because I think a lot of the outfits just look a bit rough. They look good, but they look a bit rough in some areas. Then there's actually adding armor. You can add in different parts of your body armor. So for example, you can have arms, legs, and chest all on different and separately. Normally, I like them to be all the same, and I like the Brotherhood of Steel under armor. So I have the Brotherhood of Steel, and then I have this lovely decorated armor stuff on top of my character. I feel like I'm ready for war in this particular outfit. I think this is really cool. So that's the particular armor that I like wearing when going into battle. I'd like to say that I think Fallout does an excellent job of customization, and it's just an extra element on this game that you don't have in Atomfall. We'll talk about one of my favorite things inside this game, and that is getting around, actually navigating around the map of these lovely locations. I think the map is so much more adventurous in Atomfall. That's just my own opinion. I like both games, to be completely honest with you. In the game Atomfall, you are directed around with an actual map inside your hands. There's a little map, and you go up to places, and then they get marked on the map. So, for example, this place here, right in front of my character, the moment I go up to this, you're gonna receive a new location symbol, and there'll be a little location with an image and a name. Then you go to the actual map itself, and you can see that image on the map, and you'll hover over it, and there'll be like a little name on it, and you can kind of see different places on like where you're meant to head to if people mark it on your maps. But you can see where locations are like this, and it's really nice. But because there's no fast travel, you do have to kind of use your head a little bit, because you're going to have to navigate around. So you're going to have to keep reverting to this map back and forth to kind of go like, well, okay, which way am I heading to, and what is that direction? So because that's the case, you're going to have to kind of open the map up now and again and make sure you're heading in the right direction, close your map up, follow the roads that I mentioned. And, you know, that's how you kind of navigate in this particular game. In Fallout 4, you have two types of maps. You have local map, which is basically what you're seeing right now, and then you have a larger map where you can select world map and just see the entire map of the location that you're at, which is the Commonwealth. Now, as long as there's no enemies, you can literally fast travel to any of these unlocked locations that you found throughout the game. When you look at the radar at the bottom of your screen, you can see that there are some icons on the map. Some are in light green, some are in dark green. The darker greener ones, which are kind of the faded out ones, these are the locations you haven't discovered. To discover them, run up to them, and then you'll have a name come on your screen, and you will have unlocked that location with a little XP on the side. When you first start off in this game, you'll have no locations pretty much unlocked, and as you proceed and you start to do more and more quests in this game, you'll unlock a lot more of these, so you'll be able to fast travel around the map in a lot more areas a lot faster. So the more you play this game, the easier it is to get around, basically. Now let's talk about quests. In quests inside this game, there's a lot of them. As you can see, I've only just played 8 hours into this game, and there is a lot of quests. And you can pretty much go into any of these quests and actually track them if you want. Now, if you play this game normally, there won't be a way marker. However, you can turn the way marker on in advanced settings. Now, I'm very much aware that part of the quest was to go into these locations that the character mentioned. So all I had to do was find a particular person, or to find something within these locations, and that's what I had to hunt for. And that's really a cool way to play this game, because I saw this right next to the location, a little underground bunker area, and I went underground, and I actually had quite fun. I got a little bit distracted, went around this area, collected some stuff and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, it was a really good way of, you know, just exploring. Just like, there's no way marker. I'm gonna actually have to explore and discover things. I mean, one of the things that got me to find this particular character with this note was just exploring, and then just so suddenly, as I was exploring around this area, I did find him eventually. He wasn't underground, he was above ground. He was this particular person here, which led me to the next area of this quest. But if the waymark was turned on, I wouldn't have accidentally gone down there and had so much fun in a bunker trying to find anything that I could find that would have been a clue to this person. At that time it wasn't, but in other times it could have been. In Fallout, there's a more direct approach. So, for example, when you want to track a quest, what you do is you go into your Pip-Boy and you locate the quest section and you find the quest that you want to do. I'm going to pick Shadow of Steel. Now, after you selected your quest, you can actually go over to that location. That location will be marked by a square above an icon of some kind. For example, this time it's a square above a door. You can see it actually on the navigation at the bottom on what direction you need to head in, as it will be the only location with a square above it. You can then also fast travel to a location that's close to it, and then just keep following that square, whether it's above a door or it's above a character. You just keep following that square until you reach the next part of the quest. Overall, I really like both of these games, but they both come at the game from two different angles. And to be fair, at the end of the day, the question that I had was, do these games deserve to be in the same video against each other? And I think the answer is no. I think they're both great games, but they both come in at slightly different angles, and they both prioritize slightly different things. So, they're both great games, and if you enjoy the one, you'll probably enjoy the other, but it definitely comes in at a different angle. So just be aware of that. One's definitely more America, one's definitely more UK, one's set in an apocalyptic future, one's set in an apocalyptic past, one's primarily all about customization, and the other is about navigation. They're both different, and do you know what? I'm okay with that. I love both of them. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to consider to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.